And I think I explained last time, this is a little tuning fork I have. And I just use it to do a little humming before my meditation. I actually bought some recently online, and they come in different notes. So it's a nice way to just have a real perfect note and just hum to it, get that vibration in your mind. And then sometimes I'll take two different tuning forks. I just have the one here right now with two different notes and play around with some of those intervals and the harmonies. It can be really nice and relaxing. And tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to do a meditation on liberation. So one of the, or really the ultimate quest of the journey of meditation is to achieve what is called liberation or enlightenment, which can often, or could be called nirvana, samadhi, and it can often seem quite elusive or distant. But in a recent training, teaching I was doing, we spent quite a bit of time talking about enlightenment and liberation. And what really resonated with people was comparing enlightenment, we'll call it, or let's call it liberation. I prefer that word. Liberation, comparing liberation to, as an awakening, comparing that to awakening from the dream state. And so I one night was having a dream where I was on a safari with some good friends, and we were in a Jeep that had no roof on it. And in the dream, we drove into this beautiful forest, but as we were leaving the plains and going into the forest, all of these wild monkeys were trying to attack us. But we got through them and into the forest. But then as we were in the forest, in the dream, I realized, like, my dream mind was thinking, wow, all those monkeys are there, and there's really no way we're going to be able to get out of this forest alive. So there was this looming sense of fear or terror of what was coming. I don't know if you've ever been in a forest of monkeys, but they can be really, really ruthless. There's a beautiful place in Bali called the monkey forest. It's gorgeous. There's all these monkeys, but if they zoom in on you, they can come in all kinds of monkeys. The whole tribe can come, and they'll take your wallet, and they'll take your sunglasses, and they climb up the tree and bribe you to get them back. And so in the dream state, I was really filled with this terror of, hey, how are we ever going to get out of this forest? And so we're driving to try to get out of the forest. We're driving towards the area where the monkeys are. And in the dream, I'm thinking, I just don't know how to get out of this. And then what happened was I woke up from the dream. And that was the only way out, which was to wake up from that dream. And in waking up from the dream, all the terror, everything just vanished. And I woke up into a higher reality. And so we can do the same thing in the waking state. So we often call the waking state the real world. But it's not really the real world. The waking state is created much like the dream state in terms of our attitudes, our opinions, the thoughts in our minds, our hopes, our dreams. All of this colors our experience in the waking state. And so even though you might be sitting with friends, everyone in the same room, you think you're all in the real world, but actually each individual is very much in their own world, full of the thoughts, the ideas, all of those things going on. And so meditation gives us the opportunity to wake up to a higher reality. And so then the challenge is, of course, well, how do we do that? One way that the meditation teaches is simply by calming your mind. You lessen all of the mental activity, and your mind becomes more calm, and so you perceive more clearly. So instead of being battered around by this thought and that thought and skewing true perception, you calm your mind and you start to perceive at a deeper level. So that's one method, very, very effective. And it's that slow, gradual progress that we make that's so valuable. Another way that's very helpful in the dream state is when you're in the midst of a dream, how do you wake up from the dream? And one of the ways is by observing things that are inconsistent. So for example, if you're in a dream and you open up a book, the writing in the book won't hold together. If you try and read the print, it won't hold together. And that would be a situation where you could say, okay, the print's not holding together. Something's off here. I must be dreaming. So you notice inconsistencies. And so in the waking state, the question becomes, well, what inconsistencies can I observe about this state that could help me to wake up to a higher state? And the inconsistencies are misconceptions about reality. And one of the most powerful ones is our conception about the source of happiness. We spend so much time thinking, imagining, visualizing that happiness is coming from things into us. But the truer understanding of reality is that happiness comes from inside of us, that we create our happiness within our consciousness, and that's the source of it. That our own consciousness, our own awareness is the source of happiness, and it doesn't come from things. And by seeing this clearly, it reorientates your perception of the world, of the waking state. And so what we'll do in tonight's meditation is, once we get into the deeper state of meditation, you're going to bring into your awareness times when you've been happy. So even the way we phrase it, as if in certain times you were receiving happiness, but regardless, you're going to visualize a few times when you were happy, and you're going to start by thinking, okay, why was I happy? And you'll probably start with outer reasons. It was a sunny day, it was beautiful, the people I was with, etc. But then through just clear thinking and talking to yourself during the meditation with that clarity of reason, realizing that the happiness came from within yourself. And so you'll pull a few different situations, you'll kind of remember your happiness, and then reorientate yourself to what was the true source of happiness. And so we'll begin by going into a meditative state. If you want to loosen up any parts of your body, you might choose to do a few shoulder rolls. Could drop your chin forward, stretch out the muscles in the back of your neck. Little side-to-side motion. Start to become aware of your breathing. Slow down your breath. And let's bring a little energy into our hands. Do your hands palms up on your thighs, and as you breathe in, spread your fingers as wide as you can. as if your hands were your lungs, and on an exhale, squeeze your hands into a tight fist, just as you squeeze the air out of your lungs. Do that 3 times. Following your own breath cycle. And then letting your hands relax. Breathing in and out as slowly as you can. Release your jaw. Tongue sinks to the bottom of your mouth. Your eyes become still and motionless. Either gazing into the back of your eyelids or choosing an outer object to gaze at. Slow breath. Eyes are still. Tongue is motionless. Moving yourself into a meditative consciousness. Now we'll go a little deeper into the calmness of our mind by becoming aware of sensation. Sensation is the foundation of our perceptions, of all of our thoughts, just pure sensation. So be aware either of the colors and shapes when your eyes are open, or if your eyes are closed, same thing, different shapes, colors, sparkles of light in the back of your eyelids. Being aware of either sounds around you or the quietude of your space. Try not to label every sound and color, just enjoy the sensation. And the sensations of touch, your body touching the chair, temperature on your skin, clothes on your body. The very sense of your body, your sense of existing in space, the space you occupy. And now focusing in on sense of self. There's all of this sensation around you that you're perceiving. And now shift your awareness to yourself, the observer of all the sensation. And a mantra that you can use to deepen this sense of self is, for example, and this doesn't have to be exact, on the inhale, you can inwardly repeat, I am aware of sensation, but I am not sensation. I am the observer of sensations, or the witness, or the enjoyer. So I'm aware of sensation, but I'm not sensation. And on the exhale, I'm the observer, the enjoyer of sensation. And as you inwardly repeat that or something like that, dialing deeper and deeper into the sense of self, the observer, the witness of everything. So now we'll do our meditation on awakening. Bring into your mind a memory of when you were very happy, a happy day, a happy moment, a happy time of your life. Your immediate conception will be that you were happy because of certain things. Reformat your awareness, your thinking, to realize the happiness was within you, and you decided then to give it expression, to let it out. Go through one or more scenarios. The scenarios will slowly help you to root into the true source of happiness through this clear light of thought, of reason, understanding the true source of happiness. By opening up this clear light of understanding within you, it'll bring a feeling. Focus in on that feeling, the source of happiness being within the self. If you lose that feeling, then pull up another example. Get that clear understanding, dive into it. So when your mind gets pulled away, just bring in another example. Now, slowly and gradually, holding on to this clarity of insight, bring your awareness to yourself in this moment. And in this moment, apply that clear understanding of the true source of happiness to this present time in your life. For the last minute or two, either continue with this technique or go back to any of the earlier techniques. The transition, which we're about to enter into from the meditative state back into whatever activity is next for you. I always recommend a smooth transition so you can hold on to this feeling from the meditation. And ideally, your next activity will be one in which you can assimilate the wisdom, the knowledge from your meditation. Maybe journaling, drawing, taking a walk, doing some simple chores where you can continue in this reflective state of mind. And this technique that we did tonight, it very much involves clarity of perception. So we talk about awakening from the dream state and being very observant of perception in the dream state, where that perception breaks down, the letters don't hold together, is the one example I used. And so the technique we did tonight, bring ourselves into this meditative, relaxed state, calm state, and then apply the clarity of your perception to the very essential element of human life, which is the search for happiness. The misconception is that the happiness comes from things into us. And so to live with that perception is to live in a slightly diluted state. Through the clarity of the meditation, the clarity of your thought, seeing clearly where happiness comes from helps you to wake up. And there are some other perceptions, some other things we can do in the waking state with our meditation, other misconceptions that we'll explore in future meditations. But this one, to work on the source of happiness. And if you can think of other misconceptions, be happy to hear your thoughts and ideas. But there's a couple others I have that we'll meditate on in future meditations. It's been very nice meditating with everyone tonight. Again, we post all of these meditations up on our YouTube channel, which is Pilgrimage Yoga. And when you go there, they won't all be on the home page. You have to go to the top, scroll to videos and click on that, and then they're all there. So the light within me bows to and respects the light in each of you. Namaste.